Hey there, folks. Welcome back to Let's Play Nobunaga's Ambition Awakening on the Mysterious JG. It's a Sunday afternoon. I'm feeling kind of lazy, fairly chill. Don't have a lot of that whole. I heard the term and thought about the idea of the Monday or the Sunday scaries. I don't think I'm suffering from them not this weekend anyway. And but it's fucking hot outside, and the only thing I really need to get done today is to. Oh, I should do some laundry this evening. This is the life check-in with JG, by the way. I need to get my steps in. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that outside. It's too fucking hot. I don't feel like doing it now. I'll do it later. I'll get on the treadmill. Blah blah blah. I just feel like killing maybe an hour with some of these videos. And we're going to have some pretty chill videos ahead of us because we have conquered everyone that is on our border except for the Oda, and we currently have alliance with them. And it really is a question of, do I want to start marching forces out of the back of our territory in a long-term project to have a bunch of forces ready to attack the Oda? Like to just be hanging around on the border with the Oda and ready to dive in, or not? And the answer is, I think we're just gonna fucking chill out and do domestics for a while. So if those are the videos that are boring to you, keep an eye on those video titles for when we attack the Oda next. Keep an eye out for thumbnails that look like they have historical events in them. But we've done our historical events, and I'm already kind of, to be honest with you, I'm enjoying this game. It's very chill now at this point. But I'm already thinking ahead to the next scenario that we're going to do and wondering... Actually, this is a good idea. Let me throw this one out there as like a poll for the handful of people who are still watching this big-ass series. Because you're the ones who are most likely to watch the next one. Ooh, you guys agitated? Interesting. I guess they were defeated in battle by the... Who would that have been? Are they fighting the... They're probably fighting the Chosakabe at this point. Yeah, they probably were defeated by Chosakabe. The Chosakabe. So I'm trying to think who to play next. The Chosakabe are one of the possibilities because we've never played as any of the factions on Shikoku. So I was thinking it might be fun to play as Chosakabe. I thought it might be fun to play as the. It would be very similar in how the game rolls out to when we played as the Shimazu in Nobunaga's Ambition Taishi. But I thought we could play as the Otomo. We could start at a later historical scenario because I almost always like to start at the beginning, rather than in one of the scenarios where there's already a big, powerful, established force. But we could play this game as the Nanbu, who have very few historical events, and just play. I could switch to a different Nobunaga's Ambition game, although I'm enjoying this one. I like the idea. I've been thinking about, though, doing a playthrough as the Oda. And what I would probably have to do is really just play, I would have to off-screen really get an idea of what all historical events are, and it would be like we did the start-stop thing here with the Uesugi, like just committing to that's how it's going to be, and just doing that and playing as the Oda and playing through each of the starting points of the game and getting the historical events you're supposed to get, and then jumping to the next starting point of the game and getting the historical events, and just committing to we're not going to be doing it's not really a normal playthrough. It is a playthrough designed to see all the Oda historical events and not actually go into a freestyle winning the game mode until we've gotten to the events where Nobunaga dies, at which point I'm pretty sure you can do fictional events where he doesn't die. I think that would be the most interesting. It would take a really long time, and it'd be more work on my part, but it would be the least like watching a normal playthrough of the game. It would just be a structured playthrough of the Oda events with me doing silly voice acting. So that I was thinking pretty seriously about that. If we wanted something where I could show off, because I think what we should have done with the Uesugi is what I finally organized and did was just show off all the historical events and then freestyle play the game from a point where it's to their advantage. I'd have to do something similar with the Chosakabe if we did them, because the Chosakabe have events that get into how the Chosakabe, Motochika Chosakabe was kind of rising to power at a time where it was too late for him to possibly win. Similar to Masamune, he rose up and became a powerful daimyo during a period where Hideyoshi Toyotomi had already made himself the Taiko and was basically unstoppable. So there are events with the Chosakabe that involve, like, you know, being forced into subservience to the Toyotomi regime. So those were ones, if I wanted to conquer the land as the Chosakabe, I'd have to showcase those and then start a scenario and not get those events. Similar to with the Uesugi, where I showed you the events that show the death of Kenshin and then the battle between his successors, but that's not the reality we're going forward with. So if you got strong thoughts on whether you'd like to see, it'd be another very long series, but I could play through as the Oda, or if you'd rather I play through something where there's maybe like just a few events to see with the Chosakabe and then freestyle and conquer the land, kind of let me know what you think, because I'd be curious to know. I have to come up with probably 2 ideas, because I owe one more series of this game to the people who donated to Zerfall's charity stream last year, and as I'm recording, Zerfall's charity stream this year is coming up soon. And I would either offer up a playthrough of this game again, or I might go back and play Nobunaga's Ambition Taishi. And, of course, there's another Romance 3 Kingdoms game. I guess the HD remake of 8 is probably out. Although, for me, the main appeal of that game is that it had multiplayer, and that's not anything that I know that I'm going to be able to get set up with somebody. Anyway, let's get on with this. So, we're kind of in a mode now where we're just in domestic mood, and I think we had determined... Because unless I want to make... Yeah, we just set up... I guess I did go ahead and pull the trigger on making this place. And we're already seizing all of the farms. I think I had pulled the trigger on making this place a supply depot. So yeah, I really do think we're just doing domestic stuff right now. Edo Castle has an addition of an irrigation canal. Yeah, so one of the things I was doing was just trying to get the... getting rid of anything that doesn't help with this. Rice dealer. And honestly, we don't care about... because I'm not going to use this as a marching city now. Which means that we don't care about supply stations. So I should turn this into another rice dealer. And Anna Takatatsu isn't available, and she's the one I would want to do this. So that was probably not that wise to do. Alright, well, we'll hold off and let her finish whatever she's working, because I'm sure it will be quick. 24 more days to finish the supply station at Tsujigasaki. So we'll just wait for her to finish, because nobody who's available here is going to be able to build this thing up to level 2 fast enough. We would be losing 50 days waiting for her to be done, so we'll just wait. We could transfer the capital to Kanazawa and restructure whatever's left behind into other districts, but I want to do... I've gone to the trouble of getting Oda Castle and Shibata and Kurokawa set up to be marching cities, so I would like to see that happen once before they get pushed so far back I got to put them into another district. I guess I could order these districts that are way back here to attack, or maybe make them attack the Hojo after, and just let's see if they can take out the Hojo for me at some point. But in the meantime, we definitely have, see, this irrigation canal is underway. So there's nothing more to be done there right now. Looking for places that have... Oh, because there are places where I set them on auto-develop, which now they're not developing exactly as I would have wanted them to. Why can't that be improved? Performing maximum construction. Oh, it is level 3. Oh.
I shall handle it.
I think another supply station's in order, and I didn't leave enough to do it. But that's what we would really want there. I tell you what, we'll get an irrigation canal going.
At once.
And I got to come back and tear down something and put up a supply. 2 months left. I think we do want to extend for, if we can though, because I just want to get ready. We've been involved in like non-stop war. This illness has taken the strength away from eyebrow, like Groucho Marx painted eyebrow guy. Request civil servants. No, you are not getting out of Takatatsu. Employ. Grown to gradually take over the rule of my territory. Yeah, it's this one. It's this one. Tsujigasaki has their supply station. The whole thing here was to get another rice dealer, right? Yeah.
Leave this to me.
And then we can build that port they want. And who knows, maybe the Oda will refuse to extend the treaty, in which case, well, that'll be a thing. We don't really need to be afraid of the Oda right now, but it would mean I had figured we would take our time and consolidate our gains first. Your loyalty has been well appreciated. By the Emperor's will, I grant you the post of Sanji.
Have you a moment to spare?
Trust with the Hojo clan has reached 100. There may be nothing to negotiate with them at the present, but this goodwill will surely pay off one day. And honestly, I will say this. I think it's time that we just take over the Hojo. Let's just go ahead and negotiate for them to become vassals after all. Because I was thinking maybe we let the alliance end and take them out. But I think it's time that we just make them a vassal. We can trade even more food for less gold, and I'd be curious to see what that does. There's no reason to feel shame. These things are done for the protection of the clan. Well, you gave us your son as a hostage, so... So that's it. They just instantly accepted. I'm a little curious. What is our gold income like? It is currently plus 22,000 a month. What does it become if we make Dude a emigre? Because it's a 22,000 a month.
I have never known such joy.
12,000 a month. I think we can probably live with that. What does it do to our... It's giving us more troops. Now, I did playing around off screen. I saw if you make somebody an emigre and then drop it, they get annoyed. Like, it hurts their loyalty a lot, personally. But, yeah, it's going to give us even more troops. I kind of wish we could make it affect only our main zone and not the, areas, that because it would be nice if like our not our vassal states, but our districts that are not directly controlled by the ruler weren't affected by it. That would actually be really handy. It'd be worth developing an area like Rifu Castle. No, you are not getting on a Takatatsu. Nobuyasu Goto visited and asked to serve the Sanji. And he's I keep losing track. I think the abacus, that's what that symbol at the bottom is. It's an abacus, and it represents politics. That makes sense. I don't think I'd piece together it's an abacus. So the command fan, I think, is leader, and the cross swords is probably valor. The ones that were confusing me were the book and the what is that? But now that I realize it's an abacus, then that must represent politics, and the book is intelligence. So this is basically a guy who's really good at military and not much else. He's a Date retainer, protected Hinohara Castle, and contributed to the Ashina. A valiant warrior, was known to carry a yellow banner into battle. He wore a yellow turban. What ribbon? Ribbon, not a turban.
I will do everything in my power for
So he will act as our blade from here on. This port is good for trade. Trying to find a chief who could work on it.
Acknowledged.
We'll take a quick look at Kasugayama Castle and see if it's time already to get new substitutes going. And it is not. Because there's no marching for us to do. So there's not a... Well, he's an infantry leader already. We have Senehime is ruling the land of No. So it looks like Takatora Todo who I want to say is a Samurai Warriors character. Anyway, let's switch him out and get somebody new. And they are generally, I think, presenting by guys who have good stats. So this might be like his brother here, actually. Or his cousin or something. Nobuyasu Tokugawa. He's got good stats. I think he might be one of the sons. Go ahead and put him in there.
I couldn't dream of a happiness greater than this.
And now I'm curious who he is. So he's the eldest son. Okay. Nobunaga Oda accused him of aiding their enemy, the Takeda, and he was ordered by his father to commit suicide. So he's definitely part of the plot. Yeah, he's a big part of the story of Neo, because he's why the love interest from Neo hates her father so much, because because Nobunaga, his quote ally, orders his son to commit suicide, and he goes through with it. It's a big part of Tokugawa's story too, that he was willing to endure all of these things, including having his own son kill himself in order to keep the clan alive and eventually triumph. We are going to just dismiss this one so that I don't accidentally click it. Details concerning the Mōri clan incident have been made known to me. Motonari's Testament. It's the story about how God came to him when he was a old professional wrestler who couldn't go anymore. Never mind, I'm not kidding. There's a whole big thing with old professional wrestlers becoming born-again Christians and having testaments that I'm aware of, because I live in an area where occasionally you hear, oh, cool, there's a pro wrestling event happening out west of here somewhere, and it turns out that it's like Ivan Koloff preaching. Motonari Mōri was a scheming man whose management of the once minor Mōri clan, this is another clan that might be fun to play as, by the way, saw them become rulers of Chugoku. His long life was at last approaching its end. Teramoto, you would be wise to leave Mōri clan matters to your uncles, Motoharu and Takakage. Do not try to shoulder everything alone. Understood. You think I'm an idiot, then? We Mōri once had but a patch of land to our name. The territories we have now are the fruits of luck and strategy. Do not grow conceited. That's... Toromoto, do not think yourself capable of expanding our territory. You must not aim too high, nor covet rule over the very nation. Yes, I understand.
Do not forget what I have taught you.
Do not forget a word of this mouthy old man's warnings. Grandfather! Didn't he die already? How many times is he gonna die? And so died Motonari Mōri, a giant of the Warring States. He went around choke slamming jobbers and dying multiple times. A succession dispute between siblings after their older brother's death. A clash with the Uchi and the Yamago that gave rise to a retainer purge. The premature death of his heir, not to mention his seeding of countless schemes. Had he lived in times of peace, he'd have witnessed none of these events, but his life was a life defined by the turmoil of these times. And now, as they're pitching him as a character, I'm thinking more and more. In my mind, I was like, do we want to play as the Oda, the Chosakabe, or the Mōri? I think we should play as the Mōri. Let me guys know what you think. Now, because the Mōri, I don't know that much about them, except that they ruled a big chunk of Japan, and they kind of fell apart a little bit from within right as Oda was rising to power, because they're always on paper look to be one of the strongest forces in Japan right before they just kind of don't go anywhere. Toromoto Mōri succeeds Motonari Mōri as daimyo. Motonari Mōri dies. I guess that's the official event. We'd seen a couple of events about him dying, and I kept thinking he had already died. Alright. I found Lord Takashige Oyama. He wishes to serve our clan. What shall we tell him? He's from a powerful family in Ki. Received land for joining Hideyoshi Toyotomi's invasion of Kishu, and then lost it after Sekigahara, and he died at the siege of Osaka. And he seems pretty mid.
I shall serve you well.
Yeah, we finally reached the point where we've got a lot of chiefs again, although not as many as we've got infantry and samurai leaders, which are kind of your most important. You got to keep those filled. You don't need to have 800 senior officials, and the only way you're going to do that is if, like me, you're cheating a bit with Edo Castle. Oh, it doesn't show the total for these alternate supplies, though. Let's see. Yeah, the additional supplies are filling up pretty fast. Yeah, he's now kind of an infantry leader at large. But we'll have her do it because she's so fast. But she'll only get it up to level 2, because her trick is she can automatically build anything up to level 2, even if it's being built for the first time. But she's not going to get something that's already level 1 and build it up to level 3. As neat as that would be. Oda Castle has a new irrigation canal. Oh, you know what? I probably could have had her doing something more useful at Oda Castle. Yeah, I definitely should have had her doing something more useful at Oda Castle. Alright, well, we'll wait. They need more... What we really need for them is to get more supply stations. Get rid of the training grounds and the trading town and get supply stations. I'll wait till she's back on the job. This place should be fully developed by now as far as, like, seizing farms and stuff, right? Yeah. Oda Castle probably has all their farms seized. Yep. We've taken our... Oh, I know what I could be using some points to do. Our gold income is down, so I can't go crazy, but here's our new clan member here.
I shall see it done.
All right. We could start bolstering crops at Okazaki. Yeah, with the Hojo dude as our emigre, I severely cut down our gold income in exchange for even more troop counts, but alliance with the Oda clan has just expired, but it seems an extension is possible. Do you wish to preserve alliance? Yeah, I do. I'm actually just gonna put off the fight for another year and just have some domestics. This is not like we are ready to get them. They can't fight us off, but I'm just like, not in that big a hurry. I think I'm giving the people a year of peace, frankly, because there's been non-stop war for a minute. So we're going to have Anataka Tatsu come in and get these guys more marching days because we kind of want that. And by kind of, I mean we really want that.
Here.
We can afford it,
Consider it taken care
even with our, quote, low gold income. As soon as I spend my last point, something comes up I would definitely want. I invited him to come because he was down on his luck. Koronori Kama, he certainly got a sweet portrait. He's an Amago retainer. After the demise of his clan, he served Toyotomi, becoming lord of Shikano Castle. He conducted many land reclamation projects and built canals. Yeah, so he's got excellent poll stats. This is definitely a guy we want. I say that when we hire everybody that comes our way. But,
How delightful.
how delightful. Oh, he can clear farmland for us. Let's get him on that. Come on, we just hired him. He should be available. I don't know why it's going to take him so long, but
Acknowledged.
we'll have him do it anyway. Why is there a little blue thing next to... I guess because we had never scrolled over it. Just as it happens. Yeah, we're not buying treasure. I just cut our gold income. I know we still have lots of gold, but... Yeah, that Hojo emigre policy is pretty extreme, though. You boost your food output significantly, and you cut your gold really significantly. Addition of supply station level 2 complete. Yeah, I'm building up a really impressive troop count over here, and not necessarily giving it the greatest leaders in history while I'm doing that. So 2 supply stations and a rice dealer. Actually, this place desperately needs a stables because they've got like nothing.
Consider it taken care of.
Meanwhile, what's going on at Edo? You are still working on that. That's pretty minute changes in troop counts. I probably should be concentrating on Okazaki, actually. Because it's right there on the front
I
line.
would like you to hear this.
I'm going to employ really far away officers for 2,000 bucks, because why wouldn't we? Manganji. Wonderful. Don't know what it will do to get this place going, but religious foundations are surely a means available to us. The gods are out there.
Understood.
Understood. Alright. Let's commit to this crazy world where we vassalize the Hojo, who once dared to disrupt the Kanto Kanrai, and have now made them emigres, and are fully treating one of their sons as our own. And we'll adopt that world, and we'll move on next time to more domestics, because I've committed to more domestics. At some point, I'll probably be zipping through the turns a little bit faster. Anyway, thanks for watching.